In today's video, I am going to be breaking down what is, in my opinion, the top 3 basketball offenses that you can use at the youth level. So let's get down, let's check this out. The first offense I'm going to be breaking down is a very simple 5-out and why I prefer the 5-out offense. Make sure to go check out my complete guide to the 5-out offense down in the description below as well. So the 5-out offense is very versatile. So first off, you have all 5 players outside of the 3-point line. They're spread out. So if you're running with a youth team, so let's say, for example, 8-year-olds, this is going to be able to help them spread out because a lot of the times with younger players, they're going to clump together and say, pass me the ball, pass me the ball. And of course, you don't want that. So this is going to be able to teach your team to be able to spread out because now there is more passing lanes if you spread out. So a very simple 5-out offense that you can run is a pass and cut. Player 1 passes to player 4. Player 1 cuts to the basket. And because he passed to the right side, that means that he needs to fill out towards the left. And player 5 fills up. And player 2 fills up. And it's like a big clock. If player 4 passes to player 3, player 4 will then cut. And because he passed to the right, he's going to fill out towards the left side. And then everyone fills over. Again, very simple. Gets people moving, gets players moving off ball, and that's what we really want to teach. Player 3 passes from the corner, he passes up, he then cuts. If he's not open, he's got 2 options. If it's a younger team, he can fill back out. If it's an older team, he can set a screen across. Player 4 then uses that screen, and then player 4 uses that screen. He may be open for a layup. If not, he goes out to the 3-point line. And then player 5 can either pass to player 2 or to player 4. A simple set play that you can run out of the 5-out is what I call pin down, where basically player 5 and 1 will set pin down screens. And that will allow player 4 and 3 to get open if player 2 doesn't have anyone to pass to. Then these guys can then roll towards the basket, and it gives player 2 multiple options to pass to. He could pass to the roll men, he could pass to the guys who are popping, one or the other. Now, depending on the players' ages, you could run a 4-out offense, and I'm going to show you why I like the 5-out, because you can actually adapt plays, offensive plays, to run from a 5-out. So, for example, here, if we were to call for the 4-out play for player 5, you can call it whatever you want, but let's say 5 high. 5 will then go to the high post. Player 1 will then dribble over towards that left side because now we want to be spread out, and player 5 is going to be in the high post. Now there's a lot of different options and things that you can run out of this, but one of the most easiest is a pass and cut 4-out, where player 1 can pass to player 5 or he can pass down to player 2. If he was to pass to player 5, that pass goes to the right side, which means that he needs to fill out after cutting to the left. So after making that pass, he cuts to the basket. If he is not open for that pass, if he's not open, then player 2 fills up. Player 1 fills out because he passed to his right side, so he needs to fill out towards his left. Now, player 5 passes, let's say, back to player 2. He can cut to the basket. If he's open, you can hit him for a shot. If not, he can then pop back out towards that elbow once again. Now, if player 2 was to pass to the left side to player 1, player 5 could, if he was quick enough, could set the screen on player 2 for him to cut. If he's open, player 1 could hit him up for a basket. If not, then at this point, player 4 would then fill that wing, player 3 will fill the wing, and player 2 will fill the corner. Just like that same 5-out that we were just showing. Because he passed to the left side, he filled out towards the right. Now, if player 1 gets that ball and he passes up either to player 4 or to player 5, because he started in that corner just like that 5-out, what he does is he either cuts to the basket, and then he either pops back out if it's a younger team, or after cutting to the basket, if he's not open, he continues through, sets a screen for player 2, and then player 2 can use that screen may be open for the pass. If not, he pops out to the 3-point line. Player 1 pops out to the 3-point line. And now player 5 can pass to somebody, or he can even take the ball to the rim himself. I'm never against a player going ISO unless he consistently does it against multiple defenders. That's when I start getting upset. So there's 5 out and 4 out and very simple offenses that you can run out of those options. But I also like to run horns. And while you may say, wow, horns is an advanced play, they run it at the college and pro level, NBA level, there's a lot of horns offenses that are extremely simple that you can actually run out of a 5 out as well. Again, make sure to go check out the link down below for the complete guide for the 5 out offense. But if we were to run this out of the 5 out, we would have our bigs starting in the corners, and then we would have player 4 and 5 go to the high post, players 3 and 2 go towards the corners. And if this was the case, if we ran this like this, just as an example, you can now, if you were to say horns, you could set up and then you can call out your plays. So for example, we could call horns go, which means that after these players get to their spots, let's say player 1 passes to player 4. Because player 5 never got that ball, player 5 is going to cut across the key and player 1 is going to move over towards this wing. Now the idea here is if player 5 is open, he can get that ball. If he's not open and the defender collapsed on 4, he could pass it out for a 3 for player 1. Or we can get that ball into player 5, he could kick it out, he could go for the layup. There's so many different options that you can run. This play actually works extremely well against a 2-3 zone, surprisingly enough, even though they always say, and a lot of coaches do say this, that a horns offense cannot be ran against a zone. And I disagree wholeheartedly, because let's say player 4 gets that ball. That's going to draw player 5 up, which leaves that whole key wide open for the bounce pass to player 5. If he was able to score, he could, but this could collapse the defense where he could kick it out for a 3-point shot. And if you're in a league where you're not allowed to set screens, that play is absolutely perfect. Now, if you're going up against a man-to-man defense, you could call horns, and then you could call for a screen. So, for example, player 4 could set a screen here, and then player 5 could pop out, and then player 1 uses that screen, comes off that screen, and if player 4 hedges too hard, player 4 blue could roll. This could be an easy layup. This could collapse defenses, kick it out for 3s. So many different options that are available to you. So make sure to go check out my complete guide to the 5 out offense down in the description below. And if you want, make sure to go check out my unbeatable basketball zone defense down there as well. I hope that you've enjoyed. Hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys again next time.